Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our robotics class. This is week 32. So we're moving along. We're in unit 6, and we're going to be doing lesson 3 this week. So we'll be driving to a set of coordinates. So in this lesson, we're going to be creating a project using the location sensor to navigate the VR robot to drive to the number 31. And then in the mini challenge, we'll apply the skills to drive to the number 81 and then turn around and stop on the number 41. So we'll probably just be doing the code for the mini challenge. Okay, so remember we have our grid with all of our numbers, and then we can drive our robot to the different numbers, right? Okay, so everybody should at this point know how to go in and do new blocks, rename your project. So this would be unit number 6, lesson number 3. Don't forget to put your name, like I would put Erica, and then mini challenge would be for this one, rename. And that way, when I check your work, I know it's yours. You have your name there. You have what, please put the unit and the lesson number so I know what it is, okay? All right, so let's see what we're doing. So first we're gonna drive to the number 31. So it says, notice that the VR robot will be traveling along the y-axis to move to the number 31. How do we know that? Because we see the robot is going up, right? And so we know that the y-axis is up and down, right? So we're going to be thinking to ourselves that the VR robots will drive to the location to the number 31. And before it can navigate to that number, it has to be told where the location is. So remember the coordinates, the X and Y coordinates. So we're trying to figure out what the coordinates are of the number 31. So by looking at this grid here, we can see on our Y, well, let's start with our X, because whenever you write in the parentheses, you always write the X first, and then you do a comma, you do the Y, close your parentheses, and then anybody can read the coordinates because they know that it reads X, Y, right? So X we see is at negative 900, and then Y over here is at negative 300. So we know that our coordinates are negative 900, negative 300. So what are we going to do? It says drag the drive block into the workspace. So let's go find the drive block. And then it says, attach a wait until block. So that's in the orange. Oh, oops, wrong one. We want the wait until block. And then we're going to be getting a greater than Boolean. So we're looking for the green one that has the greater than. So let's go in there and look for the green one that has the greater than. We're going to stick it inside the wait until block. And then we're going to so we're going to decide what to put in there. So it says, drag the position of the robot block in X millimeters into there. And then we have to change it to Y. So let's go find that block. We want the position in millimeters. Change this to Y. And then we're going to put it as negative 300. So let's go ahead and type it in, negative 300. And then if you notice, they put a stop driving block at the end. So let's put a stop driving block and then launch the number grid play map playground. So we're gonna launch it and then we're gonna see if it'll drive to, let's test it out. So let me just open it up. We're looking for the number grid. Here's the number grid. And whoops, it's frozen, hang on. I'm gonna start it, see if our robot's driving and stopping by the number 31. So it looks like it works. So that's great. So let's go to next. Now we're gonna, it says drive to the number 1. So we're gonna reset the playground, and now the VR robot will turn around and return to the number 1 once it reaches number 31 on the number grid playground. So it's going from 31 back to number 1. So what are we going to do? It says we have to remove the stop driving because we're not stopping anymore. And then we're going to be using another wait until block, but we need a different position for this one. So first we have to turn right for 180 degrees to turn our robot around. And then we have to drive forward. So turn right to get our robot around back to the correct direction. Get another drive forward. Let's get another wait until block. There we go. And let's go see what we're looking for. So we're gonna do a less than this time. And the position is gonna be negative 900 because we're going back. So let's put that in. We're getting a less than. Putting in that, changing it to Y, making this negative 900, and then adding back our stop driving block. Now let's test it out. It should drive to 31 and then it should drive back to 1. So there it goes, it's driving to 31, it's turning around. You can't see the number 1 because it's hidden, but it drives back to number 1. So perfect, that worked. Hopefully you're getting the hang of this and getting used to it. So it just pretty much breaks it down, what each step is showing you here. And then you're able to do that. So, okay, let's move on. So now we're on the mini challenge. So it says for the mini challenge, you're gonna create a robot, not a robot, you're gonna create a project where the robot drives from number 81 and then it turns around and it stops at the number 41. So if you could imagine, it's going to be pretty similar. I'll just go ahead and start the code over again. So we're going from 41 to 81. Is that what it was? I don't remember. Oh no, we're going from 81 and then we're stopping on 41. So driving all the way up to 81 and then going back to 41 and stopping there. So I don't think we need to watch the video, do we? It's literally going to show the robot driving to 81 and then driving to 41. So do you think you guys would be able to do this? I hope, I don't know. Or should I put the code up? I probably should. Hang on. Okay, so I pulled the code up to get to 81 and then stopping at 41. So here's a couple of things to mention. Something that's very helpful, if we go back, I'll show you what's very helpful, is when they do the grid. I like when they do this because this is very helpful for us to be able to see where we're going, right? To figure out everything. But if you can also, if you just look and you know negative 900 is right, hits right where the 41, 51, where those lines are, negative 700, 500, 300, 100, you know where they are, then it'll be easier for you to figure out what to put in, right? So we know we're using, in this one, we're getting to 700 and then turning around and then negative 100. So it's exactly the same code that we've been using, except the only thing is these are changing, right? And how are they finding those out? By looking at the grid and figuring out where the number is located, right? So that's how we're able to do it. Like for example, 41, we can see is here over here at negative 100. And then if you went all the way up, you can't see it here, but 81 is at positive 700. So that's how they're finding out the numbers. And it's on the y-axis, position Y, position Y. So I don't know. I mean, you could have a little like cheat sheet set up where you just kind of have the grid and have all the numbers with or you could always just look here where they give it to you. I mean, I just give you the answers anyways, but like say you were just doing this on your own and I said, okay, write up the code and I didn't give you the code, you could easily draw a number grid and mark it off and just figure out what it would be. So, I mean, hopefully, I don't know, it's so hard for me to gauge if you're sitting there and you have no idea what I'm talking about, or if you do. So I don't know. Yeah. So I guess if you want, you can always come knock on the door and I can talk to you about it. If you don't know what you're doing or something, we can look at it together. So take advantage if you want to do that. Okay, so let's run this now. So here we go. See if it works. So remember, it's going to drive to the 81. It's going to stop. It's going to turn around. And then it's going to drive to the 41. So there we go. And then it's going to stop at the 41. So voila, there's the code. So please send that to me. And then there's a quiz. So let's go over the quiz together. First question says, which of the following describes how the VR robot will move in this project? So you have to take a look at the code and see how it would move. So what do you think here? You can see that it says that it's going to drive forward. It's going to wait until the position of the y-axis is greater than 50 millimeters and then stop driving. So the answer would be the one that says where it's greater than 50 millimeters. So that's D. In the next one, oh, oops, I never did it like that. So no wonder you can't see it. Okay, which of the following describes how the VR robot will move in this project? So again, you take a look at it, drive forward, wait until the position of Y is greater than, it looks like negative 500 millimeters. So it looks like C, right? What are the approximate coordinates for the number 51 on the number grid? So this is good practice for you. 51's over here. So remember, start with the X first, and we see that's at negative 900, and then go over to the Y, and we see that's positive 100. So negative 900, comma, positive 100, that would be A, right? So it's good if you get comfortable. This is what I was talking about, like the cheat sheet with this grid, because you could get your robot anywhere on the grid if you know the coordinates of all the numbers on there. True or false, comments allow users to make their project more readable for others to use. What do you guys think? It would be true, right? If you put a comment in, be easier for people to understand. True or false, comments can be added to a project by right-clicking or long pressing in the workspace to launch the context menu, then select Add Comment. And so that is actually false. I know we haven't really done anything about adding comments, but you actually can add a comment right here. You could drag a comment in and type whatever you want in there. So it's right inside of the blocks. How are comments used in this project? Well, if you could read it, then your eyesight is way good. Like I'm trying to read it. I'm like, okay. Okay, so let's see. It says drive forward and turn right at number 21. Actually, I can read it. These blue light blocking glasses are really working. Okay, drive forward for 400 millimeters, it looks like. And then it says, okay, so it's telling you what to do. So how are they being used? It's describing how the VR robot will move to the number 23. So the answer is C, and you'd have to look at that. So that's your quiz. So you can do your quiz, and hopefully you're getting pretty good at moving your robot around to different numbers on the number grid. All right, so that's your assignment this week, and we'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.